In the last video we did some trimming and fitted spacers on the rear of the car. It's still rubbing, of course. So today we're going to work on the front. I'm going to take these flares off. I'm not going to be driving the car for a while, so I'll just go ahead and take off the over fenders and get everything ready to undercoat in there. Any kind of waterproofing I can do. I should have done that a long time ago, but we're going to get to it now. Get everything ready that I can to get the car painted. Also going to try to see where I'm rubbing now, where my rubbing points are on the front. Do any kind of raising I need to do. Hopefully picking up a permanent set of tires here soon before import face off. And also be sure to thumbs up for the wings. Also a little update on the tire lettering. It's holding up pretty well. I've had a few try to peel off, but I think that's only because I didn't get enough glue in it in the first place. But I just went back through and added some more glue, and I've had no problems since. So they're holding up really good, and I'm really happy with them. So it's time to bring out the Dremel again, and while I have these off, I'm just going to go ahead and trim them up, because I ordered some more spacers, some more dangerous spacers again, and go figure that they tighten them up too tight, so I'll have to impact those again later. But we're going to see about throwing some camber up in the front and putting those spacers on there, and I'm just going to trim up the inners so I don't rub on those in the future. And it's good to go ahead and do it now before I go to bigger tires. So I don't know if there's really good enough light in here to see it, but this inner lip right here, I mean, you might be able to see it there. That's actually what I'm going to cut off. Since it's plastic, you can't really roll it. So I finally found the culprit for why I'm rubbing, and honestly I'm kind of upset I didn't catch it sooner, because it's the most simple thing and it doesn't do it on flat. So when I was turning the car I wasn't seeing it, which is why I never caught it. But if I'm on any kind of incline or unlevel ground, it rubs there every time. It's actually this little piece here where the marker light went and what holds it together, and it's actually rubbing on that part of the front bumper there, and the piece of metal that's holding it, which is what's leading into cutting into my tire lettering. I'm almost tempted to just run the car like this for a few days. I don't think you truly understand just how wide the car is until you take one of the over fenders off. And for those of you who's already wide body, you know how much of a hassle it is to actually fit into a parking spot. And the rear is just so much wider. But the camber I'm running right now, I maybe have an inch or 2 inches on each side of a parking space. And in the FRS BRZ 86, if you don't have the door 3/4 of a full way open, you're not getting out. And people like to park close to me, so it's definitely an issue. Also, I'd really appreciate it if you guys would leave in the comments how you're liking the vlogs. Tell me what you'd like to see, what you think I should change, you know, anything like that. I'm really new to this, so any kind of advice or information I can get, I'm going to soak it all in and try to make these better. I said I was going to get a new lens, and well, I haven't yet. This is a really old lens I'm using now, so let me know if you like this better than the fisheye lens. This is a wide angle. It's not the best lens in the world, it's like a little add-on, but I think it's working. I don't know. I also bought a new camera. I have the T6i coming in. It's supposed to shoot like HDR video or something, so hopefully that's a little bit better too. Alright, so we got everything trimmed up that I'm going to do today. Really, that's the only thing I was hitting on until I need bigger tires. I'm not going to worry about trimming down the frame, because it should be fine. But I mean, I've said that like the past 6 times now, so I'll probably eat those words later. We're going to go ahead and see if we can adjust the camber on the car. I don't really know how to adjust camber, but I've been on the internet, so it should be a good time. Now in theory, I should be able to loosen these Allen screws with the car jacked up and push this thing in here to give me more negative camber. Alright, I got it moved over there. You can already kind of see it's changed a little bit. Working on getting these spacers on now, and we'll just throw a over fender back on real quick, a couple bolts, and see how it looks. The spacer actually sticks out past the rotor, and you can see here I don't know if that actually has anything to do with it, but when I go to put the spacer on the wheel, Fordstar made these cutouts for spacers, but it's not lining up. So with the camber sliders, that's maxed out. It's not quite what I was expecting. It's still not really enough, but I mean, it's better than running absolutely zero. So hopefully I'll notice a difference in handling and whatnot. Well, there's today's first setback, but it's not really too big of a deal. I'll figure out something in the long run, but let's go ahead and knock this other side out. If you stayed this long to make it to this part of the video, I genuinely thank you for sticking around this long. Looking back through all the footage, I know I've talked way more than I normally do. I didn't really get a whole lot of shots of the car in either, but I'm gonna make up for that. Not right now, but soon. So the spacers didn't work, and I'm pretty bummed about it. What I think I'm going to do is take off the spacers on the rear and put them up front, and vice versa, see how that goes. But we got the camber adjusted, and the over fenders are off, so hopefully next week we're gonna get the car undercoated, and then after the undercoat, get everything put back on. I think I still have a rear fender that I have to trim up a little bit. I'll have to check. I can't remember if I did it yet or not. And then hopefully we're ready for paint. So there isn't really a whole lot left to do. I think all my rubbing issues are pretty much solved now until I get new tires, which we'll have to go through all that again. But as always, thanks for watching, and be sure to like, subscribe. We'll see you next week.